Hi, good to see you. Welcome back to the In-Between. I'm Camille. We are revisiting the terrain of change. Now that we've walked it and things have calmed down a little bit, we want to go back and see what we might have missed because we just weren't able to see it given all the chaos and drama that we were dealing with. We're coming back with purpose and a heightened sense of curiosity to uncover the deeper wisdom that is nestled in the in-between. And it is proving to be an extremely valuable revisiting of this incredible, sacred, messy place between who you were and who you are becoming. We've walked through the change cycle, which is what happens externally when we're going through change. The inner landscape, how we feel inside when we're going through that change. Then the bridge. I call it the helpers, the guides and the guidance that reminds us, oh yeah, I may have to go through this by myself, but I'm not alone. There's guidance, there's information, there's helpers along the way that can help me navigate this incredible experience with support. And now the invitation, because change is always inviting us to see change from a different perspective. But now that we are rewalking the terrain with this heightened sense of curiosity and willingness, here's what I can see. I can see that the invitation not only invites us to have a fresh and distant perspective of what it is we're going through so we can detach and look with greater awareness and perspective. But the invitation is also inviting us to become more conscious in our own becoming. Because the invitations are these incredible prompts for conscious living. I mean, look at some of these. And if you've not yet watched the invitation videos, honestly, go back and watch them. They're just so beautiful. There's so much in there. They stretch our consciousness beyond what we were taught or what we were programmed to think, do, be, act in our lives. Let's take a look at some of them. In no particular order. Let it be unfinished. I mean, wow, really? We are a society obsessed with endings. I used to be obsessed with endings myself, absolutely. Not so much anymore because of the in-between, because of revisiting this area over and over and over again. I realized, wow, needing to have closure. Thinking I was the one that had to initiate closure, talk about something, be the maintenance person in all of my relationships. I realized, wow, maybe I don't. And just in that moment, I can remember the night it happened not too long ago. I was in a situation, in a relationship. The behavior was once again not respectful or loving. And I was telling another friend, well, I'm going to go back in and do this and do that and say this. And later on that night, I was meditating and sitting in the quiet contemplation of my own home. And that came through me. That question presented it. The invitation presented itself to me. What if you didn't, Camille? What? What if you weren't the one that maintained all your relationships all the time? What if you didn't bring this to their awareness? What if you did put it down and see if, in fact, they pick it up? It was a game changer because I literally thought that's who I was as an identity. That night, I realized, no, that's actually not my identity. I believed that it was because it came out of the programming that developed a character with that identity. But now that I've awakened to all of that, I realized, oh my goodness, I'm going to do something different. And I did. I let it be unfinished. And guess what? The other person never picked it up, never talked about it again, either because it didn't register as a problem or something they should have some reflection on, or who knows. Until they give me their words, I'll just be guessing. And I don't want to spend my time doing that. My point for sharing this is that because I said yes to the invitation that was being offered to me, it changed everything and gave me permission to keep going. Incredible. Speak your truth is another invitation. These days, a lot of people are not speaking their truth. They're regurgitating AI. They are regurgitating what they hear on the news or podcasts. It's very rare these days to truly hear somebody stand in their truth with complete commitment. Not that you can't find it. It could be right where you are. I'm just saying that to hear this invitation tell us, go ahead, speak your truth. It'll be good for you. It's medicine. Is another opportunity to see who we are becoming and to have a conscious participation in becoming the kind of person that speaks their truth, that doesn't wait until something is finished to take the next step. Start before you're ready. Another fantastic invitation. There's another moment when we go, wait, what? I'm allowed to take the first step even though I don't have all the answers? Just the energetic frequency that's embedded in these titles are life altering. And I am just so moved by the ever expanding experience I'm having with every aspect of the in-between. One of the most powerful in the list of invitations I feel for myself is let it change you. That is tremendous because it casts a net over so much that governed our lives. Let it change you. First of all, that's faith and trust in what you cannot see. I mean, what's the it that we're talking about? In the in-between, the it is the inner knower. Let the one within you change you. That's conscious participation and conscious partnership with the invisible essence, the invisible source of your life. That's when the in-between becomes something completely different than perhaps it was for you the first time around. In the beginning, we might be resisting what's trying to change us. We're holding on for dear life. We can't let go. We're afraid to let go. What will I be? What will my life be then? If I let go, the mind is so challenged in the change cycle by this invitation to surrender, let go, trust, have faith in what you cannot see. And here the invitation could not be any more clear. Let it change you. Now, you can hear that and have a visceral and emotional experience. I hope you do, because it's a powerful statement and command. However, that's not where the invitation ends. That's where it begins. Because the real invitation is saying yes. The real invitation is you saying yes. Okay, I've done enough of this to know that the universe is for me, not against me, that I've awakened from my unconsciousness and am now participating in a more conscious, deliberate experience of my life. I've had enough practice in the in-between. I've tested it all out. I've been in the laboratory of the in-between. I have enough personal evidence to know that I am able and willing to trust what I cannot see. And yes, go ahead and change me. Wow. There's so much there. The other thing that's there for me is go ahead and change me, is this profound understanding that the one I'm giving that command to knows me. It knows my heart because it is my heart. It knows my dreams because it seeded the dreams that I have in my mind, in my imagination, and in my heart. So when we say, okay, go ahead and change me, it's not a whimsical offering. It's not, yeah, go ahead. It's not a casual thing. This is a commitment of the highest level. When you have the audacity to say, go ahead, change me. I trust you, even though I can't see you. I know you have my best at hand because you've shown me that over and over again. And I know that whatever knew the rose stuffed it into a bud, then the seed, and then the soil for the sheer joy of the bloom clearly knows me as the rose. It knows my highest and greatest version of myself that I can become right now, because of course that's ever expanding and ever evolving. Let it change you. Choose again. Can you imagine? I think it's a power. These are wonderful things to say to young people and little people who are still developing their belief system. Can you imagine what kind of an adult you would be like, I would be like, if our parents knew to tell us these things? Can you imagine growing up in a belief system that says, speak your truth, start before you're ready, let it be unfinished and go on anyway? What if this was really something sacred that was happening to you? I mean, it just is beautiful to think about the kind of person that could be cultivated from this type of teaching. The good news is it doesn't matter if we're adults, because we are here to become the best version of ourselves. We are here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to take this information that the invitation offers us and say to ourselves, okay, how can I go through this differently? What is this invitation offering me? If I let it change me, what does that mean about my part in my own becoming? How does letting something I can't see change me change my relationship to my own evolution? The invitation is just an incredible field of infinite possibility and potential. It's also the place where we wake up to this opportunity to have a conscious relationship with ourselves, with our lives, with who we are becoming, the kind of family we want to build and grow and be a part of, the kind of workplace. Think of this. What if you took the invitation into your work environment? What if you brought any of these perspectives into your family's difficult experiences, or just the raising of your children, or just in the authentic experience of your partnership? What if a friend is going through a really incredibly difficult time and you gently say to them, well, what would change for you if this was actually sacred? How might this be different for you if this was happening for you and not against you? The invitations that are in the in-between are a teaching, a philosophy, all unto themselves. And I truly hope that this exchange between us today is starting to help you realize what's in it for you. I would love to hear from you how applying one of the invitations into your life changed things for you, changed you in things that perhaps actually didn't change, because maybe that's the ultimate of the invitation. It doesn't necessarily change what is happening, because it really can't. But what it can change is who you are in the midst of what is happening, and that ultimately changes what's happening. How is that so? Because when we have a change in our awareness that ushers in a new perspective of what we're going through, that changes us from being a victim to the co-creator of what is happening with our lives, that reality shift, that perception shift changes the way we see what we're dealing with. And that changes the reality of what it is that we're going through. I mean, so incredible. I am so grateful to have this time with you. I hope it's helpful. Of course, subscribing, liking, and commenting is also quite helpful. Thank you for listening. We'll be back with our final area for this deep dive. That is what I call the unseen forces. And in my next video, I will talk about how the invitation and the unseen forces are two sides of the same coin, just like the change cycle and the inner landscape were two sides of the same moment, two sides of the same movement. Because when you start saying yes to the invitation, when you are able to change your relationship to your own becoming and become an active participant in it, wow, the unseen forces become something else.